Okay, so this is part 2 of my Working Up to Chaturanga series. And it can also be really good for if you're trying to work up to a push-up. So maybe you've been doing push-ups on your knees, right? And it's not getting you anywhere. Maybe they're even really easy, but then when you try to do a regular push-up, it's like feels impossible. Well, that's because it's it's a very different move. So what we want to do is work on push-ups but at different angles, so meaning we're not using our knees, because a push-up is not only shoulders but it's a lot of core, and if we're on our knees we're not working our core in the same way. Nothing wrong with doing push-ups on your knees, but if you're trying to work up to a regular push-up, it's not going to get you very far. So let's start with using the wall. Okay, so here I am. This is probably too narrow. You want to use a real wall. But here I go doing my push-up, and I can even start completely straight. I can start completely straight, and I'm just playing around with going back and forth. I can start to walk my feet out, and it gets harder. I can see how far I want to walk my feet out. And then the more I walk my feet out, and then the more I come forward, it's going to get harder. You can do that for as long as you want, as long as you feel like it's appropriate. And then when it starts to feel too easy, you can come down to a lower angle. So I'll start with the back of the chair because that's the highest angle. Plant my hands, walk my feet out, make sure your chair's steady, and start to push. As I go down, I will feel my shoulder blades squeezing together, but I don't want to kind of arch like this. I want to see if I can keep myself in somewhat of a straight line as much as possible. And I want to push into my hands as I come down. And then push all the way up, even farther than you think you should. So you really kind of pull your chest back and your shoulder blades come wide. And I can continue like this for as long as appropriate. And then when I'm ready, I can start to move down again. So now I'm at a lower angle, and what I like about this chair is it's quite wide. So if we think about chaturanga is often done like this. There's barely any room for you to move, which is what makes it the hardest push-up. If you're out here, you have so much more strength that you can utilize, your chest, all of this area. So that's why I encourage people who are working up to chaturanga to work like this rather than like this. So here's a perfect chair for that. And I push into the chair, still pushing as I come down. And here I can go so much lower because I'm at this wider angle. Push all the way into your hands. Lower yourself down. Maybe even see at this wide angle if you can come a little bit past your hands. That's like a really nice chest opening. And then finally, we'll go to the lowest part of the chair, and this is more narrow, so then that gets us working on this sort of narrower angle push-up. So all of these are great. None of them are better than the other. They're all just different ways for you to start building strength in different parts of your shoulder, girdle, chest, etc., and at different levels as well. So I come down to the lower level, and then you can see my shoulders or my elbows are way closer to my body. That already makes this much harder for me, so I probably won't be able to go down as far. But if I'm working up to chaturanga, it's still good to practice this, and it doesn't matter if I don't go down as far. I just go as far as I can. Maybe breathing out as you come up, sometimes that helps. Oof. And that's so much harder, but I think also very beneficial. So try these different angles. Try different angles of your arms as well. And even if you're not trying to work up to chaturanga, it still helps build upper body strength. And I think it can be a fun and more approachable challenge than just going straight into this. So I hope it helps and enjoy practicing.